Hey everyone, welcome to this video. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about the syllabus of your SEBI Grade A general stream. Okay, so let's start the discussion. This is going to be a detailed video regarding your syllabus and your preparation strategy. Let's start. Coming to the exam pattern, we all know that you are having two phases and one interview. So in phase 1, there are two papers, and in phase 2 again, there are two papers, right? Paper 1 and paper 2. Particularly when I talk about the paper 2, whatever paper 2 subjects you are having in your phase 1 examination are again going to be repeated in your paper 2 of your phase 2. So this will definitely is going to give you a compounding effect. If you are doing your paper 2 very well for your phase 1 examination, it will definitely amplify your chances to get selected in this particular examination, because that's what you need to study in the paper 2, in the phase 2 as well, paper 2. Plus have a look at the weightage. 2/3 weightage is given to the paper 2 in the phase 2, right? Coming to the first part, paper 1, which is having general awareness, QRE. So I will tell you guys, this particular paper is a qualifying nature examination. This particular paper is a qualifying nature paper. You need to you need to have a cutoff of 30% here and an overall cutoff of 40% here. So I won't advise you guys to allocate too much time on your paper 1. If you are confident that you are able to create the at least you are able to make it up to the cutoff, that will be fine. Okay, that will be fine. Then focus more on paper 2. That's what my suggestion is. But if you are weak in quant, or say for example reasoning, English, or general awareness, then definitely you need to allocate some time. Otherwise you can maximize your preparation time in your paper 2, because that's what going to help you clear this particular examination. And let's start with the discussion of your syllabus, first related to the paper 2 of both the phases, phase 1 as well as phase 2. Once I am done with this one, I'll definitely cover the paper 1 of your phase 1 as well, right? So the very first subject is commerce and accountancy subject. Now those who are not from the background, maybe you feel like it's a difficult subject, but trust me, it is not. It is not, right? You can easily cover this in the given time that SEBI is providing you. The time is quite adequate, right? But you need mentorship, is what I can say, for the non-commerce background, for the non-finance background students, right? You need mentorship, and you can take the mentorship anywhere जहाँ पे आपको समझ में आता है वहाँ की आप mentorship ले सकते हो. For the commerce students, those who are having a very strong background, आप इसको self भी prepare कर सकते हो, ठीक है? So definitely आपका सबसे पहले commerce and accountancy एक बहुत ही major यहाँ पे subject हो जाता है. In this you will be learning the basics of account. The basics of accounting, basically this first chapter is all about basics only. Then would like to add some of the more chapters like concepts and conventions of account. Would like to add some more chapters like what is double entry bookkeeping, what is single entry bookkeeping. Then your basics of accounts, like what are the methods of accounting, what are the approaches of accounting, what is traditional accounting, traditional approach of accounts, what is modern rule of accounts, and so on, right? Rules of accounting basically. So you need to have a very good understanding about the basics, because many questions are coming from the basic side. Once you are done with this, I will advise you to cover the accounting standards. In the accounting standard, you can go ahead with inventories first, depreciation, which is now property, plant and equipment, a part of AS 10. So earlier depreciation AS 6 used to be there, which is specifically for the depreciation. Now there is no more the presence of AS 6. AS 6 is no more as of now, and AS 6 got merged in AS 10, which is your property, plant and equipment, which is also called as fixed asset. So fixed asset is now called as property, plant and equipment. So the most important accounting standards would like to tell you is AS 2, then AS 11, which is your foreign exchange transaction related, then AS 10, and then AS 9, which is your revenue recognition. So your AS 10 is fixed asset, your revenue recognition is AS 9, and the last one will be your investment. So first you need to do AS 2, then you need to do AS 10, AS 9, then AS 11. Majority of the questions, guys, are coming from these accounting standards. So I'm not at all telling you to leave any accounting standard, I'm just telling you a priority level, right? Next one is your preparation and presentation of your company final accounts. I personally feel that this particular topic should be here, right? Before C at least. So first you need to understand the preparation and presentation of company final accounts, then only you should proceed with cash flow statement, fund flow statement, and then the financial statement analysis. If you don't know the financial statement, how you'll be able to analyze it, right? That's why this F topic ideally should be just below the B topic, right? C topic basically बाद में होना चाहिए था इस topic के. So first you need to have a very good understanding of how a corporate entity is preparing the financial statement, because in SEBI that's what you are going to do. You need to analyze different companies, right? It may be a part of your work. Then cash flow statement, fund flow statement. Now this can be a very important chapter from which you can get a numerical question as well. And there were so many numerical questions in the previous year question paper as well. Then we have accounting for share capital transaction like bonus issue, like right issue, ESOPs buyback. Now there are many SEBI regulations, there are many provisions of SEBI related to these chapters as well. So this is your entire syllabus of commerce and accountancy. I will say it's a mix of easy, moderate and difficult level. In the paid course, we will be completely covering this. I personally teach this particular subject. By qualification, I'm a chartered accountant, right? And I personally feel that this subject is very important for your financial IQ, right? It will definitely help you understand different concept of how asset is different from liability, basically how we think finance, right? So that's very essential कि आपको ये subject आता हो life के लिए as a whole भी. At least basics पढ़ने में कोई यहाँ पे बुराई नहीं है. Plus even if you are from a non-finance background student, even if you are from a non-commerce background, it doesn't matter to me, right? Scratch से बिल्कुल इसकी preparation हमको करनी चाहिए. Coming to the management, this is a complete theory, right? Commerce and accountancy is a mix of your practical as well as your theory. However, if I talk about management, this is completely theory. So here we are having the basics of management in the first chapter, right? Its nature, its scope, what is the process, then the role of manager in the organization, leadership, motivation, HRD, human resource development, communication. So majority of the times your मोटिवेशन टॉपिक से आपके काफ़ी सारे क्वेश्चन आते हैं, लीडरशिप के आपके काफ़ी सारे क्वेश्चन आते हैं और कम्युनिकेशन से आपके बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन आते हैं, राइट? कंप्लीट थ्योरी टॉपिक. एंड फॉर थ्योरी टॉपिक आई कैन से दैट मल्टीपल रिविजन इज द ओनली वे यू कैन इज दिस. If I talk about the commerce and accountancy, first you need to have a very good understanding about the basic concept. You need to have a very strong base. Then you need to have a good conceptual understanding of the advanced concepts as well. And then the process of revision comes into picture. But when I talk about the management subject, there are no numericals, there are no practical questions. What you need to do is just clear your basics and do as much as you can. The number of revisions is directly proportional to the number of marks you will be getting in the examination, particularly for the management. In commerce and accountancy, you need to have a detailed understanding of the concepts in order to solve the numericals. If I talk about finance, your finance is divided into three parts. First one is financial system. Second one is the financial market, and third one is the general topic. Now this is the core, I can say, because majority of your role in SEBI यहाँ से आपको इस subject से आपको relate करने को मिलेगा, right? So role and functions of regulatory bodies in the financial sector, what RBI is doing, what SEBI is doing, what PFRD is doing, what IRDAI is doing. So regulatory bodies का क्या role होता है? That is the main crux जो आपको chapter number 1 के अंदर सीखने को मिलेगा, right? Next one is financial market. This is going to be one of the most important chapter for your examination, for your SEBI Grade A general examination. Why? Because that's what SEBI is doing, right? They are the capital market regulator, and capital market is a part of financial market. So both understanding the primary and the secondary market, forex, money market, bond market, equity market, the functions, the different instruments and recent developments, right? So finance current affairs can be also important for your examination. Basically SEBI circulars, whatever things are happening in the financial world, that can be important for your examination from the financial markets. Then there are general topics, and the most important topic here will be derivatives. Why? Because SEBI is bringing a lot of regulations around the topic derivative. So forward, future, swap, options, these things you need to know here in the basics of derivative. Very important chapter. Plus you need to know the recent amendments as well. Recent development in the financial sector, you can have a look. Recent development, that means the recent 3-month, 6-month finance current affairs are also relevant for you guys. So ideally it should be finance current affairs plus the SEBI circulars. A good understanding of the SEBI circulars. Then coming to your next topic, which is financial inclusion, then alternate source of finance, public and social cost benefit, public-private partnership. There are multiple topics. Now the E point, here you need to work smartly. Why? Because there are so many topics like direct taxes, indirect taxes. When I talk about direct and indirect tax, definitely it's income tax and GST, but you need to have a very crisp understanding of what income tax is, of what goods and service taxes, and the basic understanding of these act or provisions will be fair enough. You don't have to go into too much detail. Plus you need to know the recent changes. Say for example, if I talk about the direct tax, तो पूरा वहाँ direct tax code आ रहा है नया. If I talk about the GST के अंदर आपके मेजर चेंजेस हुए हैं GST 2.0 के अंदर, राइट. रैशनलाइजेशन ऑफ स्लैब्स हुआ है, काफ़ी सारी चीज़ों को एग्जेम्प्ट कैटेगरी में डाला है, जैसे कि इंश्योरेंस हो गया आपका, मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस, लाइफ इंश्योरेंस एंड सो ऑन. देन यू डू हैव finance commission, finance policy, fiscal responsibility, FRBM Act basically, and the last topic will be the inflation and the recent trends. So this is for all from your finance side. So I will say that the most important chapter here that you need to study is financial market. Then it is derivative. Then recent developments in the financial sector. I will say that majority of the questions will come from these three topics, right? Majority of the topics you can see in your examination from these three areas. Next, coming to the costing, again it is a mix of, finance is a mix of, I can say 60 to 70% it is theory, rest of the 30% can be practical as well, right? But majority, more than majority of it is theory. Then if I talk about costing, it's a mix of theory and practical. Here we can see different chapters, like we do have the basics of costing. So the first chapter is overview of cost and management accounting, a complete theory chapter. Though there are some questions which are related to practical, that can be segregation of the variable cost and so on. We'll be having a detailed discussion of these questions in the paid class, right? So this is a complete theory topic. Then in every industry, the method of ascertaining cost can be different. Say for example, I am teaching. So my method of ascertaining cost will be different as compared to a t-shirt manufacturer, right? So that's why we have methods of costing. So different methods like unit costing, like job costing, batch costing, contract, process costing and service costing are there. Different industries do have their different methods. That's why we need to have a crisp understanding of the methods of each and every industry, how they ascertain the cost. Third chapter, very important, basics of cost control and analysis, standard costing, marginal costing. I will say one of the most important chapter from your syllabus, marginal costing, budget and budgetary control, and the last one is lean system and innovation. The last chapter will be a complete theory topic, right? And these are nothing but the best practice, like what best you can do in the business, right? So there are different concepts like JIT, just in time, Kaizen costing, 5S and so on. So what I say in costing is 50% theory and 50% practical, right? I'll be also telling you some of the important topics as well at the end of this particular video. Companies Act, a complete theory topic, a very simple one and a high scoring. Plus what I have observed over the period of time is the weightage of Companies Act as compared to the other subjects is increasing basically, right? So we need to study these 7 chapters here. So these 7 chapters we need to do it very well. So there are chapters like prospectus and allotment, how companies issue prospectus and how they allot the securities. Then what is share capital, what is debenture, declaration and payment of dividend, audit and auditors, and there are so many chapters related to directors, related to meetings and NCLT. Now why they are very essential for your SEBI examination? Because in SEBI, what you are doing here is you are regulating the capital market. And what are the entities involved in the capital market? All the entities are corporate entities only, right? So you need to have a crisp understanding of the structure of the companies, how they raise finance. That's why you can see most of the topics from your syllabus are related to the capital or declaration of dividend, or somewhere or the other they are more of a operational in nature. So a SEBI Grade A officer has a crisp understanding how a company works, right? What are the timelines, how to raise share capital, what is a prospectus and so on. So again, I will say a complete theory subject, and what you can do best here is, once you are done with the concepts, go for the multiple revision, right? Because multiple revision is one of the things that will help you clearing this examination. Then economics. So it's a mix of microeconomics and macroeconomics. If I talk about the microeconomics, then the first topic, demand and supply, market structures, national income, right? Consumption function, and IS and LM theory, inflation and Philip curve. So these are basically your micro level topics, and the macro level topics I can link: balance of payment, forex exchange, foreign exchange market, inflation, monetary policy, and so on, right? So it's a mix of micro and macro chapters. I can say if you find economics difficult, there are so many chapters that are very easy as well. Like you can easily cover the demand and supply. You can easily cover the market structure, right? IS and LM function. Inflation is a common topic, I can say. Have a look. It's already repeated here. Plus it's there in your finance syllabus as well, right? It's there in your finance syllabus as well. So it's a common topic. Fiscal policy, NBFC is also a topic in your finance. So I can say that finance and economics are overlapping topics, right? They do have a overlapping topics. Some of the topics are in both your economics and your finance. Now, if I talk about the important topics, what can be important for your examination, how you can score well in these individual subjects. So let me just quickly share. If I talk about commerce and accountancy, the most important thing for you guys is the basics. Because even if you want to score high in the advanced level, first you need to have a very strong understanding of basics, because without basics you won't even able to touch the advanced level questions, right? So basic is very essential. Then in accounting standards, specifically I'll tell accounting standard 2, accounting standard 9, accounting standard 10, and accounting standard 11. So these are the highly probable accounting standards from which they are asking the questions, and especially the accounting standard 2. Especially the accounting standard 2, right? Uske baad, if I talk about the next topic, cash flow statement is very important, more than fund flow statement. Financial statement analysis is important. Bonus issue and right issue is quite important, right? So these are the major topics from which you can get multiple questions in the examination, and we'll be discussing some of the questions on the YouTube as well. Plus in the paid class, so definitely we'll be having a detailed discussion regarding each and everything. Coming to the management part. So I can say that your motivation and communication are going to be the two most crucial chapter, and the basics of management. So majority of the questions are coming from motivation and communication, plus it's a complete theory topic. In your financial market, in finance, financial market and the derivatives, recent developments, these topics are very important. So these are high priority level topics. So maybe some of the students have already done the syllabus. What you can do is you can directly cover these topics first on a priority level, and then you can cover the rest of the topics for those who have already covered it. For those who don't have the background, join any course. You need a detailed guidance, because it's not practically possible in 50, 60, 70 days to learn the new subjects from the very scratch and build a strong base, right? Definitely it is possible, but for 90% of the students, I think that they need mentorship if they are from a non-finance, non-accounts background. Even the finance background students are also taking the mentorship. Why? Because this is a different game, right? Let's suppose a particular person is a chartered accountant or a company secretary or a CWA or a CFA. Now that's a completely different zone. If you want to clear SEBI examination, the approach will be quite different. The concepts are same, but the approach is quite different. So these are the important topics from finance side. If I talk about costing, basics of costing, lean system, you'll be getting many questions from these two theory topics, right? These two theory topics. Then marginal costing, job and batch costing, unit costing, right? If I would like to filter, then these topics: unit costing, marginal costing, basics of costing, and lean system. This will be helping you cover more than 50% of the syllabus of your costing. Coming to the Companies Act, prospectus is important. Declaration and payment of dividend, accounts and audit is important, right? NCLT and NCLAT concept is very, very important. So these can be the important topics. And coming to the economics, demand and supply, market structure, inflation, balance of payment, right? And your foreign exchange market can also be important here if I talk about economics. So this was all from the paper 2, both for your phase 1 and your phase 2. Coming to the general awareness part now, your general awareness part. Now coming to your phase 1 paper 1, which will be having general awareness. So you need to cover at least 6 months of the current affairs, right? Specifically the finance current affairs, right? Specifically the finance current affairs related to finance, banking and economy, right? We also at Oliveboard bring a monthly compilation of the finance current affairs, so you can use that lecture as well, right? The latest budget, the latest economic survey you need to cover. So that will be from your general awareness. Current affairs related to different events for the last past 6 months. Definitely first try to cover the recent 3 months and then uske pehle ke 3 months. If I talk about the English, then here are some of the topics that I have mentioned from the English, because SEBI is not giving the exact syllabus of your quant reasoning in English and general awareness. So that's why it's based on the previous year question paper analysis of SEBI and different other examination as well. You can get these topics in your examination, right? You can get the questions from these topics. So spotting or errors, fillers, sentence improvement, rearrangements, parajumbles, these kind of topics you need to prepare. If I talk about the reasoning, mostly the reasoning part is easy to moderate level only, right? It's not a very high reasoning level like RBI grade B. So that's a good part, that the paper 1 is not so difficult. You can easily manage the cutoff, right? So mostly I suggest to complete the full reasoning, but easy to moderate topics can be first covered. So still if I talk about an order, then you need to read the entire reasoning, but you can give a priority to ranking, blood relations, directions and distance, puzzles and sitting arrangement, coding, decoding, right, analytical reasoning and so on. This will definitely give you high marks in your examination. Coming to the quant, you need to do quadratic equation, number series, percentage, ratio, proportion, right? Caselet DI. You can expect anywhere around 7 to 8 questions from these topics, and sometimes they go up to 10 as well. Then simplification and rest of the all arithmetic related topics you need to complete. So that's from your quant side. And if I talk about mentorship batch, then definitely we have a complete course batch for your SEBI Grade A 2025 general examination. You can check the course highlights as well, right? And we take each and every concept from the very scratch, so no worries at all. It doesn't matter whether you are from a finance background or a non-finance background, right? We'll take care of everything. So that's all from my end for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video, and in case if you are having any queries, you can let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer your queries. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care. See you soon.